Today, we're going to tackle a really fascinating question in modern warfare. Why is the Iron Dome, which is one of the world's most advanced missile defense systems, actually running out of time? You've probably heard of it, right? Israel's Iron Dome? For years, it's been the stuff of legend. I mean, its ability to just pluck rockets out of the sky with a success rate of around 90%, it's made it seem like this absolute technological marvel, a nearly perfect shield protecting cities and people down below. So that brings us to the core puzzle we're digging into today. If this system is so incredibly good at its job, how on earth could it be on a timer? What's the hidden vulnerability in this super high-tech armor? Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack. So what is this deadline? The first thing you got to understand is that the problem isn't some kind of technological glitch or a flaw in the system. No, it's all about strategy. And here's the real paradox. The Iron Dome's greatest strength is just how incredibly sophisticated it is. Every single interceptor is this little marvel of engineering, right? It's designed to track and obliterate a threat in midair with unbelievable precision. But that very same high-tech brilliance, well, that's its Achilles heel. All right, let's get into what might be the most important piece of this puzzle, the war of economics. See, this isn't just a battle of smart technology. It's a battle of budgets. And the math here is really, really working against the defender. This is where you really see what asymmetric warfare is all about. On one side, you have this incredibly advanced, expensive Iron Dome interceptor. And on the other, a simple, often pretty crude, homemade rocket. They're not even in the same league, not technologically and definitely not financially. And when you look at the numbers, the cost difference is just staggering. Each Tamir interceptor missile for the Iron Dome can cost tens of thousands of dollars. Some estimates put it close to 50 grand. Meanwhile, the rockets it's designed to shoot down, they can cost just a few $100. This creates this massive financial imbalance that is specifically designed to just bleed the defender's resources dry. I mean, this quote just nails it perfectly. You might win the physical fight by stopping that one firework, but every single time you do it, you're taking a huge hit in the economic war. And that massive cost problem, it opens the door to a whole other challenge, the challenge of pure overwhelming numbers. If you can't compete on cost, your opponent just changes the game to one of quantity. So the main play against the Iron Dome is a tactic called a saturation attack. And honestly, the logic behind it is brutally simple. If the shield can stop, say, 10 rockets, you just launch 11. The whole goal is to overwhelm the system, not with better technology, but with just sheer volume, because you know that eventually some are going to get through. And you have to get this. The strategy isn't to build a better, smarter rocket to trick the shield or outmaneuver its advanced systems. So they don't even try. The goal is way simpler. It's just to exhaust it, to make it run out of ammo. You fire so many cheap rockets that the very expensive and very finite supply of defensive missiles just runs out. It completely changes the game into a battle of who can last longer. And this is where it turns into a total logistical nightmare for the defender. Those interceptors are complex pieces of machinery. They take a long time and a lot of money to build. The rockets they're shooting at, though, they can be churned out super quickly and super cheaply. So you end up with this fundamental imbalance, a limited, finite shield up against a threat that is, for all practical purposes, infinite. Okay, so what happens when that strategy actually works? What does it look like when this incredible shield finally gets overwhelmed or, just breaks? That's the terrifying reality we're talking about. Think about it. The second that last interceptor is launched, everything changes. That whole 90% effective shield, poof, it's gone. And all of a sudden, every single incoming rocket, no matter how simple or inaccurate it is, becomes a direct threat with a real chance of hitting something. The protection just vanishes. And the fallout from that is huge. And it happens fast. From a strategic point of view, you've lost control of your airspace. Economically, all your critical infrastructure, power plants, hospitals, airports, is suddenly a target. And most importantly, the human impact. Everyday people, civilians, are completely vulnerable. But look, this isn't a dead end. People know about this vulnerability, and believe me, the race is on to figure out the next line of defense, to solve this economic problem that threatens the whole system. And there are a few really cool paths forward here. The most obvious one is just, build cheaper interceptors that are easier to mass produce. But the real game changer could be directed energy weapons. We're talking about lasers. A system like the Iron Beam could, in theory,
fire shots for just a few bucks a pop, which would completely flip the economic script. And on top of the tech, military doctrines are also having to evolve to manage this kind of threat in a new way. So this all leaves us with a huge question, right? The story of the Iron Dome really shows us that just having the best technology isn't always enough. It suggests that in the wars of the future, the winner might not be the side with the smartest weapon, but the one with the most sustainable, affordable solution. The real question is, which one will end up being more powerful?